Okay, guys, we're gonna do financial math, grade 12 exams. It's finance, oh yeah, I spelled it anyway. Finance, grade 12 exams. Okay. Johnson deposited an amount of 10,000 into a savings account that pays interest at 7.15% per annum compounded quarterly. Calculate the effective interest rate. So firstly, we understand the formula for effective interest is I effective is equal to 1 plus I nominal over m to the power of m minus 1. If we substitute, this is 1 plus, guys, remember the interest would be 0,0715. 0,0715 all over, this was compounded quarterly, so that's 4 to the power of 4 minus 1. If we deal with this is 1 plus 0,0715 over 4 to the power of 4. And this would be minus 1. This would be 0,073440 times 100. And that equals to 7.34%. That's all there is to this question. How long would it take for his investment to grow to 17,628? There's multiple ways we can do this. Remember now, he deposited a lump sum. So there's no need for us to go and use future value. We can just straightforwardly use compound interest. So let's start. A equals to 17,628.78. P equals to 10,000. I equals to 7.15% divided by 4, and N is unknown. The interest is 7.15% divided by 4, and that's 0, 0.017875. Yeah, should be fine. I think so. And then A equals to P, 1 plus I to the power of N. This is 17,628.78, which equals to P, which is 10,000. 1 plus 0,017875 to the power of N. Most likely, well, definitely, you're going to have to use logs. But if we solve this, 17,628 point there over 10,000. Guys, I'm skipping basic algebra parts. You guys can sort that out separately. This will be 17,628.78 divided by 10,000. That's 1 point there equals to that value. And now we use logs. Okay, so we have to use logs. Logs would be log base answer equals to power. So that's log base is 1.017875. Answer is 1.762878. And that equals to the power of n. And if we did it correctly, which I think we did, 1.0 17875. Yeah. And this equals to 31.999999. Now, guys, do not forget that this n is technically 4n, right? Why? See, I put the interest here, but anyway, I ran out of space. Don't forget that the n is 4n. Why is it 4n? Because it said quarterly, so it's times 4. So even if you leave it at the end, it's fine, but it's quite simple to deal with. So divide by 4, and n equals 2. Should be around 8, guys. So this should be 8 years. And that's all there is to this question. If we move on to the next part, let's move this out the way. This person took out a home loan for 1 million at an interest rate of 11.25%. Okay. Compounded monthly over 20 years. The loan is repaid in monthly installments per year. Determine the outstanding balance after the 125th payment. Okay, cool. Let's start. So outstanding balance can be done in a very simple way. We can go and complicate it, or we can do it in a simple way, but let's start with the simple way. That's P, that's X, that's I, that's N. We know the P value is something what we're calculating. That's the outstanding balance. We know the X is 10,492.56. We know the interest rate is 11.25% compounded monthly, so divided by 12. And that's 11.25% divided by 12. Should be 3 over 320. And we know the number of years. Now this one is tricky, right? Let's work with it on this side. So N, you were supposed to take 20 times 12 payments, right? We're talking about the number of payments, which is 240 payments to pay off his, to pay off his loan would be 240 payments. Now, at the start, it seems like it's difficult, but very simply, if we take 240 and we minus the 125th payment, we should get 115. Now, this is the simple way of doing outstanding balance. There is the compound interest minus future value, but I'll show you guys that next. So this would be P equals to X into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of minus N all over I. That equals to 10,492.56, which equals to 1 minus 1 plus I, 3 over 320, to the power of minus 115 all over I. And all this equals to is after the 125th payment, he technically still owes 736,498.33. That's what he owes. Now that's the simple way to do it. The more difficult way, or the way that your schools technically use, is this way. So we can use the outstanding balance, and we can always say it's equal to compound interest minus future value. So let's take the compound interest. We'll take the compound interest first. Let's deal with this. A, P, I, N. So, okay. So the A value we don't have. We do have the P value, which is 1 million. We do have the interest value, which I think is 3 over 320. And we do have 25 payments, so it's 125 payments. That's what he paid, guys. Okay, and that's fine. All we have to do is go to A equals to P, 1 plus I to the power of N. That's 1 million. I know your school does it in one step. That's fine. Do it in one step if you can. Doesn't really matter. 320 to the power of 125. If we deal with this, this is a million into 1 plus 3 over 320. Power of, oh, let me delete this. I made a mistake. So that's a million. 1 plus 3 over 320. The power of 125. Okay, cool. So this would be 3,210,465.546. That should be fine as well. Let's go and do the next part, the future value. So that's F, X, I, N. So N is 125, guys, because that's the payments that was dealt with. I is 3 over 320 because we calculated that. X is 10,000. He's making payments of 10,492.56, and future value is that. So the future value is equal to X into should be, if I'm not mistaken, 1 plus I power n minus 1 all over I. Right? If we deal with this, we should be fine. Shouldn't be anything that we're panicking with or stressing. This should be 10,492.56 into 1 plus 3 over 320 to the power of 125 minus 1 all over 3 over 320. Okay, let me deal with that quickly. That's 10,492.56 into 1, no, the double brackets. 1 plus 3 over 320 to the power of 125 minus 1 all over 3 over 320. So this answer is 247,3967.09. Okay. Now what we can do is take the compound interest minus the future value, and that should give us the outstanding balance, unless we made a mistake. But maybe, maybe not. Let's see what happens. 465 point. This is the way your schools use, guys. If you're using this method, it's fine. You can do it in one step as well. I know sometimes I'm a bit excessive. I do everything step by step, but it just makes it easier for me. Okay, and the answer. So if you are using the marking guideline from this paper, I think this is KZN 2025, paper 1. The marking guideline does mess up the formula, but they forget to put the minus 1, but doesn't change the answer. So if you're learning from there, you might be confused. I prefer this way. It's straightforward, present value, find the number of payments left over and deal with it. But generally, it's up to you guys. Now, what's going to happen is the next question is quite simple as well. The next question we can say this person had financial difficulties and was unable to make payments on the 126th, 127th, 28th, 29th, and 30th months. The bank agreed to restructure the loan so that it's paid off in the same amount of time. Determine the new monthly installment. Now, again, questions like this, generally, it is a bit difficult at the start, but there's two parts to it. He pays nothing for 5 months, so the balance just grows. And the balance must now be paid over the remaining 110 months. So we can think of it as a two-part question for missed payments. And we'll take it like step one and step two. He pays nothing for 5 months. Is that, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So nothing for 5 months. So what I would do is I would find the interest and I would find how much we're going to be dealing with for 5 months. So after 5 months, we have an outstanding balance, guys. We have an outstanding balance at 125. I'm talking about the 125th month. We have an outstanding balance of 736,498.37. Okay. Now that's not a lot of money. Generally, it's not a lot of money. So for now, but let's deal with it, right? The first thing I would do is A-P-I-N. Now, N is the number of payments. So don't get confused that it's years. He's going to miss 5 payments. This should be the same thing, 3 over 320. P is the amount of the outstanding balance. And we're going to find out how much he owes after the interest builds up after 5 months. Remember again, when we're talking about outstanding balance and future value, the N is not the years, it's the number of payments that we're talking about. So don't get confused with that part. So it's 736,498.37 into 1 plus 320 to the power of 5 missed payments. And just like 771,675.14. Now, guys, that's stage one. That's part one. Part one's easy to deal with. Part two is about us finding out how much of payments is. So, guys, there's 240 payments throughout, minus 125 payments was he paid, minus 5 missed payments. There's 240 minus 125 minus 5, which is 110. Okay? So now we're going to go again. P, X, I, N. Right? N is 110 payments left. I is the same 3 over 320. X is, well, X, and P is the value that we just got, 771,675.14. If we just deal with stage two step by step and we understand that it's quite simple when you know the steps, then it's straightforward. It's always going to be the same thing over and over. Let's solve. This is 771,675.14. So memorize steps, guys. 320 minus 110, 3 over 320. Yeah. And we're going to solve, right? So from all the videos that we did, guys, with all the algebra and the basic parts, we should understand this. So I'm not going to do the algebra. You guys can sort out the algebra part, but the answer should be he's going to pay 11,273 Rand and 50 cents. So what you need to watch out for is the paid off in the same amount of time. It means the end date doesn't move. It's still 240 months. So it's 110 payments left, not 115. Okay, so it's getting paid off in the exact time that it was supposed to be paid off. And then that's all there is, to be honest, to this question. Okay, how long must 50,000 Rand be invested to double at an interest of that? It's a straight line method. Guys, this is just basically simple interest. So see here, this is APIN. If P is 50,000, if it doubles, that means, well, basically, that's 100,000. That's 8.5%, and that's unknown. So A equals to P, 1 plus I times N, right? That's 100,000. You can use P and 2P. It's up to you. Doesn't matter. 1 plus I should be 0,085 times M. And then we solve it. 100 over there would be 2. Guys, from here, the algebra, 100,000, 50,000 equals to 1 plus 0,085 times N. Let's solve this quickly. That's 2 equals to 1 plus there. Okay, then we take plus 2 over, we take plus 1 over its minus 1, so that becomes 1. 0.085 times N. And yeah, we just divide by this nonsense and we should be good. Otherwise, we're in trouble. But 1 divided by 0.085 is 11. They wanted it in years and months, so N is equal to 11.764 some change, right? So that's 11 years. And guys, you take the decimal, that's here. So the 0.7647 whatever, and times it by 12. And we round off. So that's 9 months. Right? So again, we can take the 0.7647 dot and times it by 12. And we get 11 years and 9 months. Guys, just a quick one. When it comes to time of payments, I know I did put 9 months, but round up. Just always round up, even if it's like 0 0.1 above, just round up. Because you don't want to have a balance of a few cents and then, it just continues. On June 1st, a bank granted Mrs. Tabiso a loan of 250,000 at an interest rate of 15% compounded monthly to buy a car. Tabiso agreed to repay the loan in monthly installments commencing from the 1st of July. So he missed the first payment and ending 4 years later on the 1st of June. Okay. However, Tabiso was unable to make the first 2 installments and only commenced with the monthly installments on the 1st of September. Calculate the amount Tabiso owed the bank on the 1st of August 2024. Okay. Okay, so questions like this, sometimes it seems like it's a little bit difficult, or sometimes it seems the same. But let's start with the parts that we can do. We don't need to panic. We don't know A. We know what P is because he took a loan of 250,000. We know what I is. I is 15% compounded monthly, right? 15%, 15% divided by 12, 0,0125. N is equal to something. Now, this is the problem that we need to deal with. He did not make any payment. Please understand he didn't make any payments, but he was unable to pay for 2 months. So N is 2 payments. A equals to P, 1 plus I to the power of N. That's 250,000 into 1 plus 0.0125 to the power of 2. And that's 256,289.06. And that's all there is to this. Right? Having paid his monthly installments on the 1st of September, Tabiso will pay his last installment on the 1st of June. Calculate his monthly installment. Right? Now, guys, this question sometimes, we just did something very similar, like really, 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 really similar, and it's not very difficult. Right? So we know this is present value. Right? Let's start. We know this is present value. We know that X we don't know. I is, I think 0.0125. And N is a little bit of a tricky one, right? The amount he owes is 256,289.06. Now there's some problems with the other parts, okay? We need to figure out how many months is left. So firstly, it said 4 years, okay? So we know 4 years times 12 months is 48, okay? We also know that this guy decided, hey, I'm skipping 2 months. So 48 minus 2 means we got 46 months. Now, that's how many months he has to pay this loan in 46 months because he decided to skip his payment. So that's X into 1 minus or 1 plus 0.0125 to the minus n. Honestly, I did skip the formula, but I'm already over here, so I'm just gonna go with it. 0.0125. Let's replace the P with the 256, 289, 0.06. Right? I'm just going with it because I kind of forgot to write the formula, but guys, don't forget to write the formula. Yeah, this is 256, 289.06. Okay. Now, all we have to do is the algebra. Again, I'm not doing the algebra. I'm not doing the algebra for you guys because we got like 2 or 3 videos based on how to deal with this algebra. That's there. And that's divided by 1 minus 1 plus 0.0125 to the minus 46. 7,000. X would be equal to 7,359.79. Again, there's a video on how to solve for present value. So you guys should be good with the algebra. Let's say this next one, right? This next one says X amount of rands is invested into a new account at an interest rate of 12%. So I don't know much, but I know this is 12% compounded monthly. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's 0.1. Yeah, 0.01. Okay, cool. 3 years later, 2x is deposited into the same account. Okay, so this is a timeline. At the start, we put x amount, and then this is year 0. And then 3 years later, this is 3 years. 2x is deposited at the same account. And then after 7 years, so 0, 3, 7. So this is 4 years more. There is 276.55, 8.75 in account. How much money was invested at the start? Tricky one. Should I do it that way? Yeah, why not? Okay, let's try it in a timeline. I just want to try it in a timeline. Apologize if it's long and I kind of mess it up, but let's go with calculation one, APIN. We know N is 4 times 12, which is 48 because it's 4 years. From 3 to 7 is 4 years. I know I is 0.01. I don't know what the p-value is. I don't even care what the p-value is. It's x, but um, A is, I'm just curious if this works, guys. Forgive me if it doesn't, but we can always just figure it out after that. Because I mean, why do something so there? Okay, so if I work back, okay, this won't work. I can just see it won't work. But anyway, let's commit to it either way. I'm just curious, right? And then this is 276. 276, 558.75, right? And then the p-value, 276, 558.75. And this is 1.01 to the power of 48. Okay, and then this is 171,538. I just had an idea, so I just wanted to see if it works. But that's how much of money was at this point here, right? That's how much money is at this point here. Um, I guess. And then if we work backwards one more time, I'm just curious to see, right? So APIN, even though the A value, oh, we don't have anything to minus. Guys, give me a second because it won't work. I know the total amount in account there. I don't know what he added. And even if I calculate backwards, I highly doubt it would work. Okay, so I did something dizzy. Uh, the truth is, yeah, so I found out what is there, and this wouldn't work. It was just an idea I had in my head, but he also, the problem is it could have worked if he didn't add any money. He added a certain amount of money, and I don't know how much he added, so I don't know what to minus out before calculating. So this can't work. I mean, this amount is correct though, but I'll leave this one side. I know it's not going to work out because I don't know how much he added. Guess I tried to do a shortcut that didn't work out. Uh, if I went backwards, no, it still wouldn't work out, right? So let's leave this here. I won't erase this because it's a good mistake. It's a good mistake, but also coming back here, I don't know what he added. So I can't calculate the interest. But I mean, he made two. This timeline still stands. It doesn't really matter, but we can solve for x, right? So there's two payments. Both of them are compound interest. And the first payment is unknown amount of x is 1 plus 0.01 to the power of. Now, guys, let me take this nonsense out. This is the way that it was expected to be done. Guess that didn't work out. But yeah, this is A. A is unknown. We don't really need it. I know for a fact B, why I'm saying B, N is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 7 times 12, 84 months. I know I is 0.12, and I don't know what X is, but X is basically X. Okay, so that's fine. That's 84. Now the next one is in the exact same account. I don't know what A is. I know This is P. I know that P is 2x. It's double the amount. I know what N is because he did it at the last 4 years. So that's 4 times 12, which is 48. And this is 84. And I is still 0.01. So now, guys, when I take this first payment plus the second payment, this nonsense equals to the final answer there. All right? And now we have to solve it with algebra. So the best thing you can do is to simplify as far as you can go. That would be easy. But another thing is we can take out a common factor of x from the set if I wanted to. I can take out a common factor of x, and I'm left with, apologize for this algebra, just neatens up everything. Though if I take out a common factor of x, I'm left with this nonsense, right? But let's simplify. 1 plus 0.1 to the power of 84. Right. I'm not deleting anything from the calculator, but I do want to show you that this is 2.306722744 plus 2x to the power. This would be 1 plus 1.01 to the power of 48. Yeah, I'm never gonna get this one. Let me take it a common factor one time. I'm not gonna. I thought I could make it easier for you guys, but it's not gonna work out because the decimals are giving me very weird numbers and it's not fun to calculate. So 1.01 to the 48. That would be easier. Yeah, I'm gonna be faulty, and I'm gonna try and not simplify again. I prefer to simplify. But honestly, after all the nonsense answers I'm getting, I'm not going to simplify. I'm going to do what my faulty students do and just take everything over one time. But in this case, they're correct. The reason is I tried to simplify, but I'm ending up with really, really, really faulty answers where scientific notation is yeah, times 10 to the something. So this is 276,558.75 all over. Let's see if I got it right. 1.01 to the power of 84 plus 1.01 to the power of 48. I either got it right or got it very wrong. And I think I got it. Let's see. Okay, cool. I got a genuinely okay answer, so maybe I got it right. I got 50,000. And that's all there is to this question. On the dot, 50,000. Yeah. So that's the end of this question. Let me see if there's more. Guys, this question wasn't too difficult. I did try something first. I had a thought, like an idea, and I thought I could work backwards to get this timeline. But when I reached year 3, then I realized that this guy added 2x, and I don't know how much x was. It was absolutely impossible for me to calculate it. So I got stuck. I'm leaving this here because I think a lot of people would work backwards as well. Uh, but then I came back here and I did this. I tried to simplify. It gave me really bad answers to simplify, so I didn't simplify. I left it as is. I took out x as a common factor on both sides, and I just took this entire bracket over. It was too much of a hassle to simplify for me. So I got 50,000. Genuinely, I think that is the answer. I'm sure of it. So it should be good. Okay, guys, this is Eastern Cape, 2025. Generally, I don't think it's a difficult question. Let's invest 8,000. You can just see is investing 8,000 is a lump sum. No need for present and future value, right? So we got A. We got P is 8 grand. 13% per annum, compounded monthly, that's 13%, or compounded quarterly. Let's just deal with that quickly. That's 13% divided by 4, 13 over 400. I get a nice number. Press ST. I mean, that's a okay number. 0.0325. N is unknown. And the amount he receives after this is 22,350. Okay. A equals to P, 1 plus I to the power of N. A is 22,350. P is about 8 grand. 1 plus 0.0325. And this is to the power of N. As after algebra, you would use logs and you would solve this, and N equals to. This is in the grade 11. You can get this exact question in the grade 11 financial math or grade 10 financial math. So it should be fine. This is like 8.03 years. Okay. Right. Brian deposits 700 then at the end of each month into the savings account C. This one, guys, somebody just asked me now, how do I know it's compound interest? And it's not like present value or future value or something. This is a lump sum. It's one payment and interest is building. He's not adding payments continuously. So you can just use future compound interest. But yeah, he deposits money every month. So I know it's present value or future value, right? But it's an investment. He's putting money away every month. So definitely it's future value. Into a savings account for 15 years. Exactly 5 years after the first payment, 5,200 was paid into the account as an additional payment. Okay, cool. The interest rate on the savings was 12% per annum, compounded monthly. Determine the accumulated amount at the end of the investment period. Okay, cool. It's fine. Let's deal with this as a timeline, right? Let's try again. I have an idea. Let's see if it works. If it works, I'm happy. If it doesn't, I mean, learning lesson. So I use the timelines a little bit differently. I take it per this thing. So this guy, he invested 700 and I take it per calculation each month into a savings account for 15 years, exactly 5 years. I would like to do 5 years. There is easier ways to do it, to be honest. I think there's easier ways to do it, so we don't have to fully stress and panic, but I do want to see if this method works, right? I do want to check, but I think it should work. Exactly 5 years, he adds 5,200 to this amount, and then 15 years would be 10 years later. The interest didn't change throughout this entire thing. It was like 12% divided by 12. This is 0.01. We just did calculations like that. And yeah, I guess it's a timeline question, but let's see if it works. So F, this guy puts 700 Rand. I is 0.01 and N is 5 years times 12, which is 60. Okay. Now I know marking guidelines would do this in one step. That's fine. You guys, if you'll understand it in one step, go for it. I'm not going to stop you guys, but I just prefer working with it in this part. So present value formula, if I am not mistaken, is 1 plus 0.01 to the power of n, which is 60 minus 1 all over 0.01. Let me double check this one. This is 700 into 1.01 to the power of 60 minus 1 all over 0.01. This one is a little bit of a weird answer. I do need to double check because I am. Mm, okay, I don't think my idea is going to work out, but we're going to go with it just to try, right? 700, 700. We're going to go with it just to try, right? I'm just curious to see if it does work out. I mean, if it doesn't work out, I understand as well. But then we'll do it the method they wanted. 57,168.77. That's how much of money we had after 5 years, right? I mean, it makes sense. It's not a lot of the thing. It's not unrealistic, but this is 57,168.77, right? Now, guys, he added 5,200 as an additional payment to this amount. Okay. So he added it there. Let's go and calculate. But I think maybe I could be correct. That's F. That's X. Uh, you know what? Also not just a lump sum, it's a monthly payment. So again, well, again, it's not going to work out properly. I can just see it. Okay, it's fine. I can just see it, guys. It's not going to work out properly. I am doing this without memos and stuff. So whatever comes to my head first, I'm thinking of it and then I'm calculating to work with you guys. But I can see it's not going to work out. The reason it's not going to work out is the present value is going to calculate. The present value is going to calculate how much he deposits every month. But now I have nothing to do with this amount that's there. But I do have another idea. What if we just continued? What if we just continued this amount here? N was 15 years, right? So 15 years times 12. Let me double check. 15 times 12 would be 180. Okay. Now we change this to 180 and we find out how much he put for the entire 15 years. So let's forget about this, right? So the entirety of the 15 years, I think maybe this is going to work out a little bit better. I am going to double check and then we can work on it, but it just made sense in my head to do it. I thought we could calculate that part, but as I came to here, I figured out what I'm going to do with the 5,200. So that's not going to work out. So yeah, 1.01 to the power of 180 minus 1 all over 0.01. Now this is a bigger amount of money. See, this calculation would have worked if it was lump sums, but this deposit is throwing us off a bit. But it's not like it's difficult. It's me that's being a bit extra. I just had an idea and I thought I could do it. So this when he deposits 700 Rand for the entirety of 15 years, it would be 349,706 Rand and 14 cents. But now, guys, this guy also put a lump sum amount of money. And the lump sum amount of money is APIN. So after 5 years, he puts 5,200 Rand as a lump sum. It gets the same interest of 0.01. And this is going to be for 10 years. So 10 times 12 equals to 120. And now we can find out that amount. If I deal with A equals to P, 1 plus I to the power of N, that will be 5,200 into 1 plus 0.01 to the value of 120, power of 120. And yeah, 5,200 into 1 plus 0, 1, 1 plus 0, comma 01 to the power of 120 equals to 17,162.01. Now all we have to do is literally add that and that, and we should have the answer. If I did this, I'm quite confident in that we got the answer. 14 plus 17,162.01. Guys, you can see that I'm leaving in all of the mistakes. I'm leaving in all of the different thinking because I also want to show you guys what's not working and what is working. And even if you have ideas, try it out. But you need to understand that it's unrealistic for you guys to go and read a question and just immediately just start doing it and know perfectly what you do, unless you'll do it every single paper and you're getting 100% for math, and it's fine. But even if you're really good at this section, mistakes are easy to make. Just think about it rationally. As you get to the parts, just think about it properly, and then we're done. If you look at the marking guideline, I think it was done a little bit differently. They did the future value of the total, plus they added that amount, then they did the interest. But I mean, uh, they did it in one step. There's a marking guideline, yeah. Let me put it on the screen. This is the marking guideline. A little bit complicated, but I mean, they did it in one step, so it is what it is, right? It's fine. I prefer the step-by-step calculations where I know what I'm doing, but I mean, yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. Go for it. 6.3, Mr. What's this guy's name? Baku. I don't know if he's Japanese or he's, I don't know, but was granted a loan of 900,000 over a period of 20 years. The loan is repaid in equal monthly installments, guys, present value. Done. At the end of each month, the interest rate is 11.5% per annum compounded monthly. The first installment is paid 4 months after the loan is granted. Okay, cool. Determine his monthly installments or his monthly payments or whatever they want to determine. This is generally, I don't think it's too bad, but we'll start with the interest. The interest is the easiest part to deal with. That's 11.5% divided by 12. That one, I don't know off by heart because uh, we don't see that one often. That's a nonsense number, but yeah, I think 0,009583 recurring, right? That's fine. Now, it is a bit iffy. There's a difficult part, there's easy parts, but we need to find out that it was after 4 months that the loan was paid. So it's going to be a bit tricky, guys, but let's go and find out how much he owes at the start. Let's go and find out how much he owed right after 3 months, right? So we're going to find A, P, I, or APN. So N is 3 payments because he paid 4 months after the loan was granted. So first month, second month, third month. Let's find out how much he owes, right? So A, I don't know. P, I know is about 900K. And yeah, let's find out how much he owes after 3 months, and then we'll work with it, right? Because this missed payment, a little bit tricky. But I mean, he didn't pay for like 3 months or so, or 4 months. So all we have to do is find out how much he owes here, and we should be good. So this is 900,000 into 1 plus, and that's 0.009583 to the power of 3. So that's 900,000 into 1 plus 0.009583 to the power of 3. And this is 926,122.84. Guys, this guy, he didn't pay anything for the first 3 months. They still charge him interest because, well, that's how the bank works. But now let's find out his monthly installments because his end date didn't finish. Or The part that we're actually focusing on didn't actually finish. So let's go and find out his proper monthly installment and how much he has to pay. Now this one is tricky. It's tricky because 20 years times 12 payments, 20 years times 12 payments is 240. So he has to pay 240 times. But he did not pay for 3 months, right? He didn't pay for 3 months at all. He only paid in the fourth month. So if we minus 3 months, he has to make all of those payments in 237 months. Sorry, guys. So all we have to do now is work out present value. So if we work out present value, we get P X I N. We know the I does not change. It's 0,009. Is that 583? We know the N is 237. We don't know what the X is, but the amount that he owes is 926,122.84. And then, yeah, this is P equals to X, 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of minus N, all over I. 926,122.84 equals to X into 1 minus 1 plus 0.009583 to the minus 237. And that's all over this nonsense answer, 0,009583. And the final answer of X is equal to 9,000. You guys can solve this. This is also in the video. Guys, there's grade 10, 11, and 12 finance videos. So teaching videos with exam prep. So you guys should be able to do it. That's how much he's paying, right? So this was missed payment. So what I do is I find out the price. I find out the amount he owes after he missed the payments with compound interest. Then I make that equal to present value with the remaining months that's there, and then we solve. Should be fine. The balance immediately after 16 years is 379,811.29. Determine how much interest he's paid till the end of 16 years. Okay, cool. Quite simple. 9,908 Rand, 90 cents. That's how much he's paying per month. Times, now this one's, let me double check something. 16 years times 12 months. Okay, guys. 16 years times 12 months equals to 192 months. This guy missed 3 months, so minus 3, and he only paid for 189 months. Okay. So times 189. So 9,908 Rand, 90 cents multiplied by 189 months. And that equals to 1.8 million actually. Sorry guys. English and math is not working, but okay. That's how much he paid in total. Now this total amount is fine. This total amount is not very difficult to deal with, but there is some parts that we need to deal with. So we can take the interest amount. So this is the total amount. 1872. 782.10, right? That's the absolute total amount that he takes, right? Now let's talk about the capital he already repaid, because he did pay some money. We know he did pay some money. So we can go and calculate, because we need to minus the loan amount, which is 900,000. But also, there is a little bit of problem, because there is something that we need to sort out as well. So we're going to be in a little bit of trouble if we don't sort out this question, as in it's a level 4 question. Okay, guys, so there's parts of this we shouldn't make we really shouldn't make a mistake with. Let's leave this out to make it easy. All the money that he repaid already, would be the total 900,000, right? What 900,000 was what he took, minus the balance outstanding, which is 379,811, and technically he paid back 520,188 rand and 71 cents, right? Now, if the total amount that he owed was 782.10, and he repaid that amount, which he really owes, the balance of this would be the interest. So this is what was outstanding from the loan, and let's see what the interest amount is. So that's 1872.782.10 minus 520, 188.71. And he owes, the interest that he gets is 1352593.39. And that's how we're done. That's all there is to this question. I don't think it's level 4 in calculation. Like this, okay, I agree, level 4 in calculation. This definitely. But this one, I just think is level 4 in understanding. After you've done the calculations, more like level 1. But okay, guys, that's part 1 done.